Chad and Alex, take it away.
Yeah, straight into the pistol, and already 2 smokes deployed by Complexity as they surge up mid. This is their own smoke they threw out window, and it's the own smoke that they flashed through. James happy to greet them, and that was Poison, not only the push, but with the bomb. Yeah, Kinder's caught another one, and S14's just next on the naughty list. NATO Safix doesn't clear his corners, and, well, welcome to our third series, or rather second series of the day. It could just feel like it could be the third, but a very long first has resulted us in just getting VP Complexity started. A lot of stakes today, Shaddy.
Yeah, lots on the line, lots on the line. So Complexity, with a win here, can qualify for the playoffs. They can also make sure that G2 don't. So if you're a G2 fan, you're going for Virtus Pro right now, but tomorrow, when G2 play Virtus Pro, you're going for G2. So
you're a temporary VP fan.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all this, but we're going to make it as clear as we bloody possibly can. Now, that's not the way Complexity wanted to kick things off here. And we might get a bit of a breather to talk about this Blame F stuff, because it was great to hear from him in that little interview piece with Frankie there. But let's just dial our focus in here on this Deagle Force Buy. Next round, we might get a full eco, and there's a tag onto Poison. 3 smokes, 2 flashes for Complexity to work with after their initial util.
It was what Yanko was saying as well, like he acknowledged that was a very candid interview from Blame. To be fair, he always often delivers in the candid nature of his answers. Unfiltered is a better way to put it sometimes.
Whether it's about him or his teammates, right? He's very vocal about what's going on.
Such is the meta at the highest level of Mirage. Everyone on the CT side capable of smoking off that connector. And
From anywhere.
It does just, it buys you so much time.
Yeah. Just, can someone smoke connector? Yep.
Yeah,
it's like they're on the moon.
It's on the way.
The hole in one.
They're throwing it from dust too.
Well, that's next. We got the orange maps here today.
Yeah.
I like Yanko's sentiment about third map probably going to start to lean in the favor of VP if they do get to overpass, but their Mirage has been horrific as of late, so let's see how much damage they can put down. Yakinda and James, while doing exactly that. Tagged up 31 apiece for NATO and Blame.
Somebody finish him off. There it is. Yakinda's been a real problem child for them, and yeah, just collecting all of those headshots. It doesn't feel threatening. It really doesn't, and that was Armored Deegs. But 2-0 for VP.
All right, let's get talking about this Blame F stat line as far as entry fragging on the T side. Now, in this event, his attempts at going for entry frags on the T side is at roughly 37%. Right, now that sounds like a lot. He's currently, in terms of the tournament, the highest, I believe, on the T side. He's sitting at the top. This is where you correlate his attempts with success. It gives you a little rating. He's the highest in terms of T side.
Conversions.
Yeah, well, conversions, there's someone probably a little bit higher, but with all those things leveled out, he's the highest rated, right? I went back this morning and had a look at his last 4 Tier 1 events. So let's go IEM Cologne Play-ins, Blast Spring Finals, and IEM Summer. Yeah. And I had a look at his entry attempts of those events and then found the average. The average of those 4 before coming out of the player break into EPL was 16%. He has more than doubled his level of attempts, right? And if you had a look at that 16%, his actual success was quite high on a lot of those. Like, I think we were talking 60 plus.
Well, he was being discerning with when he took those duels.
Yeah, and now he's doing it more. His success is still quite high, 53%, right? So he's contributing in this field in a very, very big way. And it's interesting to see. I went and checked JKS, the other very passive member. The last Tier 1 tournament for JKS over there in Cologne, his was around 16%. So far in this event, around 16%. So for JKS, it's staying pretty much the same. For Blame, there's a clear change.
Precisely, but it also reflects on what S14 and NATO Safix are expected of in this Complexity roster. I think Blame even alluded to it, saying we've got a lot of passive players in our ranks right now. JKS at the tip of my tongue. S14, I've seen him with aggressive flair. It's not like he lacks the capacity. And JKS is a decent P250 shot. Now, the trigger discipline out of Buster could come back to bite him as they could try and get this bomb down. Poison, get it done. Get your team some cash here. Kick it could deny and play spoiler, but Blame's Deeg bangs, and they have denied. It's come down to a 1v1, though, and poor Blame is being held, and Yakinda again saving out the VP boys. He's had a multi-kill every single round so far here. As Yukinda 6-0.
One of the other key factors here is Poison. His level in this tournament has looked great. I didn't get the chance because I'm not going to lie. I'll tell everybody what I told Alex in the car today. I said, all right, this first series, I think OG going to 2-0 Zinners. We're going to have a long break between the first and second series. I'll check to see how Poison's level is comparing at this event to the rest of the year. So I didn't get a chance to do that, but Poison's definitely been putting up numbers.
Yeah, and he's looked like a very competent rifler as well. It's not just that flashy AWP, and speaking of, he is equipped with the Kalashnikov for fourth round of play. Now, they've got no one housing the A push for info. Admittedly, it's up to Kicker how much he wants to try and take, but distinct lean towards B here from the boys of Complexity.
Yeah, I think they want to pressure Sanji and Buster here. They're on a bit of an island right now. Yukinda floating around window is the next closest point of connection.
Yeah, double AWP. Very
Yukinda AWPing is curious.
It does mean that they're going to have an AWP posted up on B, though. And they're actually chopping and changing, so it won't necessarily be a quote-unquote stack.
Sanji.
Yeah, he's having a look and catches a glimpse of the shoulder. Good trade out of NATO. Now, they do want to commit to this. And Yukinda, an uncharacteristic miss results in Poison's opener. And that might be enough to spur VP out of the site. They have yet to commit, though, so you can see a lot of hesitance out of Cole.
It's a save.
Second-guessing themselves.
It's definitely a save. James is still in the A site. He has not moved a muscle. Kick it, I think, is caught wind of this and doesn't want to go down for no reason. And this is what we're going to see from VP. If you're rocking up and you're expecting something different, well, you're a fool. The VP, they very rarely change their approach, and they're going to play the number game here to hold on to very lovely little rifles. Now, an interesting thing, when I saw Config got injured and that he wasn't going to be able to play, and they brought in NATO to replace Config, I was like, all right, well, Complexity, Pro League, who cares? We're not going to see anything.
He made no secret of that.
I wrote them off immediately. And I think that is because I was under the impression that they were expecting NATO to fulfill Config's role within the team. Everybody else, however, is playing at a level which is making up for that, right? JKS, S14, Blame, and Poison all have positive ratings. NATO is there more just facilitating everybody else, doing his job where it's the best of his ability, making sure that, you know, in the crunch moments, he gets that one kill he needs. He's there in that late round 2v2 situation and is able to lock down a position.
And I mean this in the best possible way. NATO, if he does his job right, should be invisible. Like, as in, to the point where I'm just saying he fills the gaps. He is only there for the necessary trade. He's only there to be that fifth man. He doesn't get in the way. You know, in no capacity is he in the way. And we see products and examples of that all over. Now, JKS is on his way to Palace. James posted up. And I'm sure he's far too wise to be walking on in all dry. Kicker's having a glance at ramp as well. So VP actively looking for info here on the A side of the map.
Exactly the same setup as they just run. Jame aggressive Palace, Kicker close A ramp, Yukinda floating around between connector and window. This time no AWP for Yukinda. And Sanji and Buster relatively passive over towards B. So this is just about who's going to wait longer here. I think JKS will have to have a look before Jame winces back. Unless there's a kill elsewhere on the map to draw him in. But you can see how aware JKS is of this.
Yeah, and James is so... I haven't seen an Orpo so stubborn about this. The whole setup hinges over James posting up on Palace. Like, Kicker has to just be active, and there's the reward. James, at the 1 minute mark. He stood there for 30 seconds, Chad.
Yeah, and the thing is, with no connector pressure, and connector and window being covered off, Jame didn't have to move. So they are actually setting Jame up to be able to stay there that long with their CT spread. And now the pressure applied on Sanji towards B.
Yeah, now, maybe a late arrival from Blame with that boost. Buster was holding the light glitch. It's not even a glitch, why am I calling it that? That's an old COD call out. But either way, NATO stabilizes the spray nicely. He does deal with one. Blame reactively jumps in, and it's good collections from VP all over the map. S14 trying to isolate Sanji. He knows he was the bench player. He's just sat and pressed pause. S14 just about gets across the site, and the molly's good. That might force the fight. Two Danes partnered up and make it one. Just S14 now with it all to do. Sanji heard the sound cue. He knows where you are, and he's managed to isolate the first two. Damn. Damage into Buster. Well defended, all things considered. VP will make it 4.
I'm going to have a little bit of a look here because statistically speaking, Mirage for VP it has been an absolute nightmare. But let's just see how much of a nightmare. I know we were going over it just the other day, but it doesn't hurt to have another little look. Now, in their last 8 games, they've only won 1. So that right there says a lot, and that was a 16-8 victory over Akuma. I remember you going through this list just the other day, actually. And I think one of the bigger problems is, out of those matches, the lion's share of their rounds have come on the T side, 56%. So if they're able to post like a 9-6 CT half here,
wow,
we're talking.
Yeah, Poison's done well to find something out of nothing, and Kickett's not got anything to report with his commitment there. Okay, this is really hinging on a complexity. Oh, second round, and Blame's confirmed it with the spot onto Sanji. Now look how little they are committing. They've got the site, they even have the bomb on the site, but they're unwilling to commit until they've got someone posted up for CT.
If Blame comes across here and throws the smoke between stairs and jungle, they'll have a much easier crossing. Now he's lobbed out something.
Deep connector. So CTs are still a threat here. Yakinda can still perch and peek, as can Jame for that cross. And little do they know, NATO needs to trade quickly, does find it. Bomb loose though, and S-Attack down. Yakinda's managed to at least extend play, and Jame just going to stick around for another collection. 40 seconds, this is dream territory for Jame. He knows how to work his magic in scenarios like this. They just have to be smart about it. NATO's coming in. Oh, careful now, NATO. Inch over the line, and Jame will collect. He's not even burning. 1v1, Blame cancels the plant. A flash from Jame, 1v3 becomes 1v1. He's such a nuisance. He's repositioned a little, knows he's got Blame locked in. And now opts for the AK-47 to finish the job. He needs info. Blame burning a little, fires off the shot. He knows where you are now, Blame, and can clear the corners. Jame, perfect play from the VP Orpa. He makes that look easy.
Oh dear, there were so many flubs right there from Complexity. I think JKS gets team flashed, right, as he's peeking to clear CT. Yeah, because he was doing the dance. I don't think anybody else threw a flash, right? I don't know. Did he flash himself? I'm not sure how that unfolded. That was not what they were looking for, because it seemed way too easy, right? Check this situation out. It's a 2-on-4. Now it's a 3v1. Yeah, JKS is blind, so I don't know. Did he I don't know.
Might have flashed himself.
Yeah.
He was doing the dance, but...
Deary me.
It takes someone like Jame to make you fully punished for your shortcomings, as Chad has outlined. Now smoked off, he will take a pot shot, and between the wickets...
Look at Poison
Lee's alive. Yeah, Lee's going fast. He's going thick and fast, and exposed. Goes 1-for-1 again. Poison's so good at finding something even when he's booked.
He didn't catch him.
I don't think Kickett saw it.
Oh, he thinks something's up. Yeah, Kickett knows something's up here. Can't convert.
Oh, come on, Blame. You're dead now, right? You're dead now, right, Jame? Oh, NATO just walks on and delivers the bomb. That is a bit of an iffy one. JKS, however, does strike, and I can't believe it. The hunt for Blame continues.
How's he not dead from the...
Sanji should be killing him any second now.
Oh my god.
Blame gets another one out of absolutely nowhere. He's confirmed the round, I reckon. Now, the bomb's on connector, so it's not out of the realms for Sanji to be competitive here, but JKS's hesitance is justifiable.
Yeah, they have no idea where Sanji is right now, so the fact he didn't give away his position, well, it's giving him a buffer to work with here, but if he wants to go for this, he needs to get his ass down that ladder to fight connector, or break that vent and give away where he hides.
He's on his way, just as JKS is considering giving up on this. Now, Blame's joined him. Sanji still holds firm, so not going to have any info on this.
I feel like Sanji's just here to sniff out the AWP, Alex.
Why do I feel like that's exactly
I feel like he's just here to get the AWP.
Like, the fact he's been so stationary this whole time.
Yeah, it's like his mission isn't even to win the round right now. They're going actually towards B.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Okay. Footsteps being made. Is Sanji going to get wind of this? 10 seconds now.
God,
10 seconds
if they plant open, Chad, I'm going to absolutely squeal. Okay, they know where he is. Plant safe, Blame to bodyguard. Sanji's got the frag.
Oh,
JKS is going to be so mad if he can't convert this. One bullet will do. Okay, sighs of relief, my lord. The second is found, and they needed that. A response to James' clutch at least, but they are going to be a little bit light on funds as a product of James' hard work. 1,400 in the bank for a couple members of VP, so they'll give it all she's got.
Yeah, may as well go for the buy situation here, but very careful stuff from Complexity, and I almost feel their careful nature is what lost them the round to James. So, oh, they get Get away with it this. They'll be up against 5 Deagles. Head armor for your Kinder and kick it into Kev. This is the type of map you'd think somebody like Yakinder would do his absolute best work. Just that sharp object you send in, let him crack open as many skulls as possible.
The Pug Realms, where he cut his teeth, he's probably played well over thousands of this bloody map.
If you tune in, you watch an FPL, it's on Inferno, it's on Dust 2, it's on Mirage, and if it's a Blue Moon, occasionally it's an Overpass. Yeah. Why would we ever want to play a map like Nuke, where it takes teamwork and...
Well, I suppose you've answered your own question there.
It's so silly, though. They're the top-end professionals.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, if anyone was going to be aware of how to default and how to play rotations, it would be a professional pickup game.
Mate, even I can herd cats into getting yard smokes to get down secrets.
Really?
So, oh, yeah.
That is
you should
impressive,
see me. I'm like a pug whisperer.
Okay, who knows red container? Can we smoke red? Anyone?
I'm even just get G'ing people up for doing their job properly. Like, nice molly, yep, you can like you got it. It's a reinforcement.
It's exactly what I wanted. Well, Poison's been waiting, and there's quite a standoff established here. Kicker should have had a shot there, and he did do good, significant damage, but S14's on B, and he's saying, gentlemen, it's a little suspiciously quiet over here. I jog on over here.
Are both of these teams playing musical statues?
Yeah.
Like, when you watch VP on their T sides, you're going to be seeing a lot of what we're getting right now at Complexity. That one's going to split open the skull. The bomb will go down with about 5 seconds to spare. So start the 40-second timer, get your stopwatch out. Beep, beep. All right. Watch that one tick on down because it's just exits for VP here. They'd love an AK. They have one. They'd love a second.
That was always my job on Sports Day.
Hold the stopwatch.
I was a stopwatch guy.
Okay.
Didn't choose to compete.
Okay. Didn't choose to compete?
I was the stopwatch man. It was
wasn't allowed to
It was
compete.
a very important role,
Okay.
you know. Mr. Flanagan, my PE teacher, called me Big Al, so that'll help you understand exactly why I was on stopwatch duty.
Mr. Flanagan?
Mr. Flanagan, yeah, it was a bit of a slip-up from his part, but it did stick. Only took one gymnastics lesson for that to stick. All right, Big Al, you're up on the pole vault, or whatever it's called, the one where you jump over the box.
The
vault?
The vault, yes.
There's no pole involved.
No.
No, that would be a very elaborate PE sports day.
But pole vaulting is a thing.
You didn't do that in your PE lessons, though, did you?
I think
you needed a full setup for the pole vault.
No, but I think we had that.
You did?
Yeah.
I think we did the high
Australian
jump.
schools
That's
are very...
no pole jobby. The high jump where you do the Fosbury flop.
Well, maybe we didn't have the pole.
I think you did the Fosbury flop.
The pole was very big.
That's very elaborate.
It's very big.
I can't imagine you running around Dog Swamp with a big pole.
Dog Swamp. It's where I work, not where I went to school.
I know,
I went to school in a respectable name.
Like
Woodvale.
Ooh, it does sound more respectable than Dog Swamp.
Okay, well, they haven't had to take as many saves as I thought here. A Galil and an AK, that's quite the prize possession to have, as Windows Smoke was off kilter a little bit, left a gap.
JKS of Woodvale Primary.
He is from Queensland.
Queensland Primary.
About 5 hours away on an aeroplane.
Oh, bloody hell. Wait, are you suggesting Australia's quite large?
Huge.
You just don't inhabit 80% of it.
The center is where all the death lives.
Yes. That is the scorched zone, the forbidden zone.
Yeah, it's like Maze Runners.
Yeah, it does feel a little dystopian. Well, that was the end of our podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Fortunately, nothing's happened.
In a round and a half.
James ready, though, and he's already caught NATO. The poor dry peek out of him. JKS comes alive. It's James who's causing more problems, though. He's having one of those days, Chad. Unfortunately, Blame's Lurk has locked it down. The bomb's supposed to be going B. Poison was trying to run towards short with it. Now S14 comes to life with a 1 versus 3. He's isolating James, but James says no, and it is a James denial. Look at the bomb, by the way. That was Poison changing his mind mid-commit.
Well, they want to stay flexible, you know, and to be fair,
I think James
I'm not
scared
going to
him
say
off.
this a lot. They had time to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, James is quite scary. He's found himself in all the right positions so far. Now, I'm making sure I'm keeping my eyes on the inbox, because if emails from Mr. Slavinsky keep coming in, right, we're going to know he's going to be updating, he's going to be letting us know who's in, who's out, what does the map win mean, how many rounds do you need? Maybe not the rounds part, we can only really work that out tomorrow. I don't want to get too stuck into the stakes so far. We're only in the first half of map numero uno. That's number 1 for those of you who aren't as fluent as I. 6-3, the scores on the doors, and some pistolas will be coming out for Complexity here. They cannot fully invest. They don't have all the money required. In the next round of play, they will have 2,400. So you want to keep about 2K in that bank balance. JKS, the only one yet to purchase, so you might see him get a nade or two. He might be left with the short end of the stick on this one. Remember, I said that VP, last 8 games in Mirage, they've only won 1. Traditionally, the majority of their rounds do come on that T side. So a 9-6 first half or better for them is phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's already a pretty damn good haul. It seems set for 7th here from the Polar Bears.
There's a blame entry.
Yeah, there it is. Add it to the stats. And he's put a lot of pressure on with that. However, Buster meets S-Attack on the jump out, and there's 2 rifles here that should just be able to keep them all at arm's length, and it's exactly transpired as such. It's only Poison hanging out with his Desert Eagle in a dream. Do love me a good Desert Eagle. Whoa. Sanji bests him quickly. And yeah, running away with this half. They could very well win the half out here at round 11.
And the thing is, going into Dust 2, even though last night, for example, Complexity were able to beat G2 on Dust 2, we look at Dust 2 as the home map for VP. You know, you go in with the most confidence for them, and it's just the way, like, when we were watching them the other day, I couldn't believe how much map territory they were taking with, like, 1 flash. They had, like, short control, they knew that nobody was in bedroom, they had tunnels, it's like 1 flash was used, and they could do whatever they want, so...
And you see CT sides just get locked out and forced to almost play VP's game at that point, where they execute into you, you lose 2 players and you're saving B, and they can just run that again and again. You never feel like you had a chance to really execute into them.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. Imagine if VP come in here today and get this one done in 2. They just wanted to make the playoffs here at Pro League the hardest possible way. Limping out onto A, and that is crispy from Yakinda.
Yeah, really nice from him, and he's still there to be an issue. JKS to try an entry frag, I suppose, and you'll never guess who's holding the cross. It's Mr. Jame, causing the pain. Oh, and it's Kicker with them 2 through the smoke as well for good measure. Virtus Pro, I think they're all too aware of the stakes of today's play. Oof, Blame, okay. That was a railgun.
Insta-gib, here we go.
Whoa. Insta-gib on, what was the map called? Faces? Twin Faces, I think it was called.
I don't remember the Quake names. We're talking about Quake, right?
Yeah, I think I was playing. It was Unreal Tournament, I was thinking.
A bit of the UT.
UT 2004. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's one of those situations for Blame. It's like, well, do I just save? I'm probably not going to win the round. Not even really going to get offered that many kills here. You can see the bomb on the radar, top left-hand side, completely surrounded. And Yakinda in T-spawn, there's not too many places for Blame to hide. 12 seconds remaining.
I know they're probably oversimplifying it as well, Chad, but... Easy now, Blamey.
Oh, not after time.
3 seconds away from having bloody peanuts in his pockets.
Oversimplifying.
Oh, yes. Am I oversimplifying? What was I going to say? Well, how does Jame, on both of the rounds where they've kind of like been committing to wait, seem to be able to play that jungle position? Like, even in my games, when I'm an AWP and I'm trying to support a as a mid-defending AWP, I'm smoked off. It seems like it's just not been part of the Cole playbook.
I think they're lacking mid-pressure, right? He's not having to worry about connector or the window boost. That normally makes that jungle player's life a bit more difficult, where they're just limping out A-ramp and apartments and he's not feeling pressured. He doesn't need to really draw too much of his attention there. So we're going for a B finish. The flashes are in.
Ooh, one's across. Sanji, oh, he eats that flash. There's real room for S-Attack to try and take some space. Sanji's the one to deny it. Just needs a couple more bullets and his teammates have got it. Well, that's a quick acquisition.
I hate the fact that I just before was like, yeah, I wrote them off, and then
now they're off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they still have the entire series, Chad.
The entire series, yes.
To win.
They still do have the entire series to win. But I'll say it again, VP, 1 out of their last 8 Mirage games. They normally win the lion's share of their rounds on the T side. They already have 9.
Yes, they do. And it doesn't bode well for the Complexity squad. Admittedly, I'd give them a bit of a stronger edge with the new player and stand-in on the CT side. I feel like that perhaps would attribute itself better to the pieces of the squad they currently operate with. Kicker and S14 playing a very dangerous game around the smokes. It results in an opener for Complexity that maybe they can seize. Now, they're not committing anywhere with the bomb, but they do crawl on up towards Connector. Buster deep smoked off, and James still alive, so don't be writing VP out of their 10th just yet. In fact, Sanji, a perfectly timed peek. NATO, good for it.
Surely they win this one.
Yeah, you'd think so right now, especially blame onto Buster. That's the end of that.
Okay, so 9-6.5 for Cole. That's what we're talking about. James caught with the deagle out, and he will go down. Now, the money situation for Virtus Pro is fine. They have 2 more rounds of play here, and I think financially speaking, they're going to be able to get through the next 2 with decent-ish rifle rounds.
Ah, they didn't save that one they were running for. Poison going to have to be thrown in AK by Blame. I think maybe he was considering taking a T-side AWP out to play. We haven't seen one just yet. He's happy with the rifle, and yeah, let's get this one started. Just going to be seeing that typical util sail through the air. It's going to be extinguished by that molly. Has he manufactured any sort of gap? It doesn't look to be the case. And okay!
What? Poison, what did you see? What did you see that we didn't see?
All right. Well, a full grey screen for James, now forced to watch.
I wonder if the molly just worked against, because you see it's going to be deeper in the window, the way that it extinguished. Maybe James' barrel or something just peeked out the front of the smoke. That is a great way to kick this one off. All right.
Yeah, see if we can catch that one through the replay. It's not always a guarantee, but they'll do the very best they can.
And that's all we can ever do.
And Buster's gotten away with murder there. Just as the T-smoke blooms to escape. He's found an equalizer. Now, Blame loves this maneuver. He's managed to worm again through that connector smoke, and they've been throwing it consistently, so it's by no means a cue as to his funny business, but he's super far ahead of the pack.
Oh, they're all going to go connector here. S14 up through underpass, the other 2 coming up from middle as well.
All right, well, Yakinda's tucked in very passive, and Kickert's push ramp might be short-lived. He's going to have to react to all this kerfuffle.
If Kickert baits for Yakinda here, this could be massive.
Yeah, Yakinda's yet to be checked. Surely they jump.
Oh, now.
Oh! And they're ready for you as well. Not bad at all. Every member the VP attempt to contest with goes down. There's only one man left. It's Sanji in the kitchen. Complexity cooking up a 5th.
Well, I thought that if VP were going to lose the round, they would have saved a couple of guns to bolster their rifles for the final round of play, but they didn't save anybody. So this means that that okay rifle round I was talking about is not to be. The loss bonus is not there. It didn't look like he saw anything.
Nope, just a couple of pot shots straight to the dome of James, and this one onto Yakinda. Not much counterplay. Not much counterplay to that.
You can't stop poisoning around like that, and then as soon as Blame and JKS also grab some frags, it's all over Red Rover. So scrapping together some Fam-I. Yes, I know it's Famuses. Some Deagles and an M4. VP would love this 10th. Deep mid molly. Yakinda in a little bit of an aggressive maneuver right now.
Yakinda dead to rights.
It's another Blame entry. Good stuff to see here.
Perfect flash as well. Oh, all of these flashes are so perfect.
Oh, they heard that.
It sets them up for the util dump. A 6th certainly sounds great for the Complexity boys, and with the man advantage found by Blame, they're on their way.
They lost a 4-on-2 already.
Yeah,
now they got a 5v4.
A little uncomfortable at the moment. Just everyone gathered in mid. It's...
You don't love it.
No.
Maybe they can make it work.
Oh my god, I can't believe Blame's caught a timing on Kickert here.
He didn't clear his corners.
No, but he's through. He's flanking CT. And they're all in connector. JKS ramp, this is a dream to finish full the 6th. Something would have to go very, very wrong for Cole not to have a 6th here. James dies, everyone panics, and Kickert gets a double as they walk through, and Buster
very,
very
wrong.
Triple, and it's all gone wrong. JKS with a tut of his tongue accepts defeat, and that's 10 for Virtus Pro. Whoops. Whoops! Complexity leave a little... I mean, let's be honest, if they were to get through Virtus Pro, they could be locked in and guaranteed top 3 and a spot in the next round of competition for Pro League. However, Virtus Pro in form tonight, it seems, and a couple of slip-ups as expected when fielding a new player and a stand-in. Complexity find themselves with just 5. 1xBet leaning actually just a slightly.
Yeah.
They really aren't. I think they've been burned too many times.
Haven't we
with
all?
Virtus Pro. NATO, nice find. They know he's in dark and they're trying to isolate, but he stands his ground. NATO Safix a double. And Complexity were off to the races. It seems immediately it's pulled into a 1v2. A lot of frags in a very short space of time. Kick it again. And there you have it. S14 quick to the draw to trade, and that comes down to a 6th for Cole.
Nice little trading there on the site. So I had a couple of traps lying in wait on that A-bomb side, right? Under the balcony, in the reverse side of the Goblin corner, whatever you want to call it. Called it Goblin spot.
I like it.
Yeah, I used to call it a Goblin diffuse back in my day in Australia. Going for a Goblin, not a ninja diffuse, a Goblin. You've been a little hobgoblin. All right, well, green things aside, Virtus Pro on an economical.
Oh, I do love those. You know, where you just don't have to worry and Complexity easily pick up a 7th. Everything's calm. You don't have to really commentate. You can just relax.
Sit back. Maybe everybody just, let's use this round to just be mindful. Just really gather where you are right now in the world, what you're doing, take a deep breath, just chill out a bit.
Mindfulness. People were preaching that to me since I was 13, and it took until I was 28 to take it seriously.
That's one of the problems, right? Imagine
nice one.
If everything our parents told us, or the teachers at school, right? Not everything, actually, maybe not everything.
Careful now.
Imagine if some of the good life advice that our seniors gave us, we actually digested and didn't just think they were being clowns.
Well, I mean, there's also, I think, an accepted ignorance to youth that is part of youth.
You need to learn.
I think so, yeah. And I think, learning by your mistakes isn't a bad way to do it. Now, they've boosted Kicker up to the point where I actually have to address it. It could result in a dead blame and a scooped up FAMAS. He's actually cleared it. Nice. No more issues for me. But yeah, even meditation, not my strong suit.
It's not easy to do.
No, far from it. And I have a lot of respect for people that can do it frequently, whether it's through self-control or otherwise.
I did a little bit of it for a little while. I was trying to force myself to do yoga as well, which is just a good way to make sure that phone is nowhere near you for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is a nice way to start the day. Sanji, no hope. He goes down. That's 7 on the board. I also did a sensory deprivation tank once.
How we find that?
I think you probably need to do it a handful of times, like 3 or 4 times before you get used to just the feeling that you are floating and you need supporting your neck, right? And all those things. And then once you've come to terms with that, then you can probably take advantage of it. It was good. The hour went very quickly, but I don't think I was fully relaxed enough for it.
Yeah, I guess because it's also new. It's like what's the word? The excitement and the overstimulation of a new experience. Poison's off to an aggressive one. He will tuck in just in the nick of time, and he's brave to repeat. But Yakinda catches a nade, swallows it down to 55. This is going to be very telling. If Complexity start finding more opening frags, as they just have with a partnership of nades, they are going to start making VP just a little sweaty. Don't forget, as Chad was constantly badgering you with, the reminder.
If you didn't hear me.
If you didn't hear him, I'm now going to reiterate one more time. The VP typically much more affinity for finding rounds on their T side of Mirage. So if Colin, this CT setup, gets off to a flying start, they might be doing it the hard way.
Even feels like a bit of a bonus round here. UMP and 2 FAMASes in place, so Complexity could even stomach a loss here. Kick It has taken some space. Buster ready to appear out the apps. Will be mollied back for now. Sanji setting up some util. James to join him, but they have to do this with just bullets alone, and the flash, it thrusts JKS forward into a big find.
That's dreamy. He heard the lick of the flame as well. He knows Buster's Palace. They've got a pretty damn good idea as to what's coming. It hasn't got the B players rotating, but Poison's certainly going to be not too far away. VP cut noise, which is keeping feet planted, util dropped, and we're at that 30-second mark.
I would say if a kill doesn't come their way soon, maybe a save.
Yep. Didn't want want to be coming out of my mouth this time. And actually, look at this, James, the entry fragger.
He's getting some spice.
And he's found JKS. It's Sanji with another, and it does get a little competitive for just a moment. If it gets a plant, it's certainly something. Now, Blame advancing. He's cross-triple. Sanji's ready for at least a little bit of a fight, but there you go. Should be some weapons to be retrieved as well.
I wonder if you're a team who plays against VP quite often, if in those situations where it's a 3v5 and you're probably having the same discussions we were just there, well, they're probably saving. If that like actually gets you into a false sense of security, and then when the attack comes, you're not actually as ready as you want to be, because that's not something you could fall into, right? And that's something that if VP wanted to change within their game plan, they could start using against teams. They just need to be a little bit more organized and maybe save a little bit of extra utility to be able to do moves like that more proficiently. Yeah. It's just one of those things. You can use something which is starting to become a weakness for you as a strength. So let's take a look at VP and how they want to apply themselves. All 5 members over towards A. They have 4 smokes, Molotovs, flashes, mid-control cleared by Blame. They can be on high alert for A. They're already playing retake, so even if JKS and Poison get smoked off, it's not the end of the world. But JKS has already found 1, so this is a great start to a low-buy scenario. Bomb's going down. Front side the default. A deeper smoke there towards connected. They're going to push and fight this any second.
Yeah, they got the flash pulled from Kick It. And it's good time on this. Blame loses all vision, starts to unload his mag. He does well to find 1. NATO and Poison do at least, and it's just that Tech 9 of James that taps away for a consolation 3rd.
Bit pesky there for a moment. You could see the idea. VP trying to push the friendship as much as they possibly can, but Complexity now up to 9. Just 1 round in and here to tie things up. And then that discussion in the first half of VP looking so threatening, it can start to shift. Complexity changing the tide of conversation. And Blame, happy. I don't know if he's happy or relieved. Maybe relieved.
Do you know, I'm relieved that Graham Messioso Pitts worked out how to pull off the man bun.
Okay.
You know, he's been working on that badly for like 3 years. Now he's looking like, you know, he's got an affinity for the mun.
You think he's fitting it a bit more?
I think so. It suits him now. He had to kind of try it on, grow into it.
Experimenting.
Certainly. Shouldn't we all?
Well, I guess one of the things with Graham is he's had the double thumbs up perfected for years, so...
Yeah, gone are the days of him in a black and white striped referee jersey.
Whistle in his mouth.
Whistle in his lips, for sure.
Red card in his pocket. One of the best to ever do it.
For those uninitiated, we are addressing a long-time industry member. Used to work for ESL when I was working for ESL, which is how we're so entwined.
Used to admin the games I used to play.
Used to admin the games Chad used to play. Now, of course, he's had a stint all around the shop. A bit of Blast, a bit of North, a little bit of everything. Now over at Complexity as a general manager. There we go, we did it.
We got there. We did the full story.
That's the end of his story. Let's see what VPs has in store for around 20. JKS kind of isolated actually with Poison Smoke top. It is just JKS and his trusty smoke. Good luck, have fun, mate. He's dead. Yakinda found him, and yeah, already backing away. Blame's rotated in from jungle side. S14 on the way as well. The cavalry's late.
Smoke's going to be fading, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad gap either, you know.
What are they doing?
Oh my god, they're all just looking the wrong way. He could have had so much more.
Nobody wants to take the side.
They'll go for it now. Oh, and an elevated position from James does open up. There's a lot of bodies on his screen. Too much for NATO to handle. A little weird one for me there, Chad. Could you just like put your thinking cap on?
I'm not sure. I think that VP were waiting for like a coordinated smoke push.
Yeah.
And that's why they weren't crossing over towards the site. The thing is, when you do an execute, you only have a limited time on that utility you've just thrown. If you don't take space, if you don't get yourself in a position to at least get the bomb down and set up a post plant, well, the utility's gotten you out to Tetris, but that's right where the CTs want you. So it did get a little bit strange. But VP will get their first round here within the second half.
And you got to see James hunting there. I reckon that's exclusively because he was excited at the prospect of
an orb. But it's all right. Sanji, the safety net, has been able to pick that up for him. I think that James, right, the thing is, when you have your first couple of games and things are going so poorly, they're going to change it up. Yeah. It's like what Blame said about within the player break. He said to himself he wants to be more aggressive. Well, things have started to go quite poorly for Complexity, right? So him changing it up is one way to get that done. And I think that Blame, in terms of an individual, is such a great mechanical player, right? And he's got a very good read of the game, and you can see that in the slower way that he approaches it. If he's able to apply that, they can still do smoke walls and set him up, but he just goes for the kill instead of just going for the territory, right? And that right there is going to be such a difference maker. Anyway, Complexity will be calling a timeout here. Just need to discuss their options. JKS is being bombarded over towards that A site, and he said he was on a bit of an island. He was left on his lonesome, right? When you're playing an AWP ticket and you have a player like JKS forward, it's almost like he has to play for himself. You can't really help him. So you get it. It's the problem with Mirage.
What's the best? Yeah, okay, sure. Let's blame the map. But best case scenario for JKS is he's isolated. There's 4 people pushing him. He gets like a multi-kill. Gets 2, right? Like
slows them down, slowing them down, and one and done. And you're happy with 1.
Smokes fade, and then poison's relevant again.
He just has to make it as messy as possible, right?
Okay. Well, that's something to bear in mind as we do get to the business end of our first match, second series today. Hope you're having a lovely. What day is it today?
Today's a Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday.
Wednesday.
Tomorrow is the conclusion of the group. If you do want to watch the games tomorrow, they'll all be played at the same time at 8 p.m. CEST. And the reason for that, if you are unawares, is for competitive integrity purposes.
Thank you, Tom Point.
Tom Point. On point. Okay, well, this mid control being worked on here. It's just the slow press, the slow grind of the default now, forcing Complexity into some more passive angles. And this time JKS has a bit of help in the form of Poison, who's in the site with him. And this angle that he has opted to pick on up is a great one to deal with Lurky Boys in connector. So it might be good for at least a kill here, Poison. There it is.
Oh, and that's the lurker. Here comes Kick It, though. Still another Palace present. Like, that's going to get you feeling like it's an A take.
But it's B.
It leaves NATO staring at the bench. Does he contest or does he hide? I think he might hide. This could be badass. It depends on the flight paths of VP. He's just hiding. If they assume it's clear, S14 with a frag that'll bait them in. Oh, perfect. And NATO can come alive, activates for another, gets the bomb loose, and with 15 seconds left, James got a decision to make. Is it game on? He goes forward. He says yes. 10 seconds, NATO, just don't die. Don't let that bomb go down. And now he's down. The bomb perhaps can go in.
Oh, I don't know if there's time. It's going to be tight. Oh, just. Oh, not able to get the digits in time. You could see James there with the frustration wiggle as it is trademarked.
Credit, I have to give credit. I know it doesn't look like the most stylish play, but having the presence of mind to not panic, not try and take that engagement, realizing that your best case scenario in a 1v4 on your B bomb site is just to play the clock and play your element of surprise.
Safe pair of hands with the decision
That's exactly
making there, right? You know, it's the impact of
He's not trying to make the frag movie.
No, I don't need to kill them all. I just need to win the round. A lot of you at home
could learn
need to hear that message.
Let's see this again. So James was really hunting for NATO, and getting him at 5 leaves him just 1 second shy. He was, I think he started planting about 3.5, so just off the mark.
Oh, it's a tight one there. A new coach in the background here. We haven't had an opportunity to cast any Complexity games as well, so Peacemaker has taken over the reins of the coach position. Keita, who was released from the team, he's now over there at Fnatic, who we'll get to see in the next group.
That's 3 Union Jacks on the Fnatic roster.
You get to see Mezzy, you get to see Alex in-game leading again since their little jaunts at Cloud9.
Is that next group?
The next group, yeah.
Dude, Group C is my most exciting group. That's like really weirdly, there's like Na'Vi, EG, FaZe. Big.
Mouse
Sports. Oof.
It's a juicy one.
And Fnatic, no?
Yeah. So it's the household name group. It's also the group with probably the most interesting, right? Because people are going to be really interested to see what happens with Fnatic, right? Is this
100%.
project going to work? Going to be interested to see how Daps fares ever since he's returning from Valorant.
When I found out that Crim sold all his skins.
Oh, you couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe he sold all his skins.
I mean, I had to take a day off.
He sold all his skins.
He sold all his skins, Chad.
Not all his skins.
That's right, he sold them all.
Oh no, I don't know how that was one of the headlines of the article.
It's very important.
All his skins.
All his memories. He sold all his memories, Chad. No thank you from Blame. That's enough from him, and a wonky smoke in mid does set Yakinda up for his walk. It seems like they want to go A with a Yakinda twist. He's going to be working his way up towards that short and potentially even jungle flank if he works his way through ladder room. That's quite the entry. S14 swallows it. And oof, every single Cole member we jump to is just eating lead. And yeah, they're all dead. It's just NATO. He seems aware that there is that Yakinda with now frag on B, so he's going to be aware of it. He'd love anything that's not a UMP, but whether or not he keeps hold of anything remains to be seen.
So this is now starting to get into hot water for Complexity, and it's more about that money situation. NATO goes down. It's the fact that they had that early lead, and now they're on the receiving end of a couple of rough ones, has left them with not a lot of cash to splash. And as you get to the tail end of a map, and the CT economy getting broken is less than ideal. So 1,900 into the bank balance next round is not enough for all of them to purchase. This will be, or should be, a force buy. And you can see why they've taken this timeout. They're second so far of the first map, and that's just to discuss what I would imagine is the best possible purchase they can have for this next round of play. So if we're being realistic here, they force on round 23, most likely concede it unless VP have any flubs. So then we're talking 13 to 10. At that point, their win will have to be an eco afterwards for Complexity.
Then we're looking at 14 VP.
Yeah, and that's maybe why they're really taking this pause, because next round JKS will have enough to buy, and S14 will be close enough as well. But Blame, who has 1450, Poison 1400, and NATO 1500, I just don't think it's enough.
But it's such a wanky force.
It's not even a... Oh, they
haven't. Okay.
But I think they've gone with the best of...
It's like this, the new Astralis money with like the 500 in the bank account.
So I guess they'll just go for 2 pistol upgrade rounds in a row. Right? So next round, they're going to do whatever you see here. Maybe they do something similar. And maybe in this round, the goal is we'll gamble stack a sight. We will hope that maybe we find a gun or two if somebody walks into our den. And then they can carry that forward and have something a little bit more threatening next round. But realistically, if VP are able to be like water and go the path of least resistance here, they should end up on B. They should get this 13th and then likely the 14th. So...
yeah, it's just about if they overthink it, if they overcook the pooch, as my friend used to say.
They are going back towards A with the bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's I'm not going to assume the full commit into the stack just yet.
It's looking very likely.
I agree. I 100% agree, but you've got to assume someone's going to go have a little look. That's the perfect molly, by the way. They're all going to be cooking.
Scatter.
Get cooked. Good extinguish. Maybe they're not ready for more. That's 2 found. Now JKS reveals himself. There's another hidden into the smoke, and it does enable NATO. Can he get away? No, he's a dead man hiding in the smoke. 2 people unloading the mag. He pushes in for another attempt. Fair play. They get a couple of kills. It doesn't quite work out as wonderfully as it could have. Kiket's utility definitely really crashing the party. And as you highlighted, Chad, this was after the back of the timeout, Complexity juggling their numbers, and we'll go for the same thing again. But this does, as we outlined, kind of guarantee a VP 14th before Complexity defend again.
Yeah, so it's almost condemning them to now having to play the full 30 rounds if they want to win in regulation. And this was Complexity's pick, and for the 700th time, Virtus Pro have only won 1 of their last 8 Mirage games. Only 1 of their last 8 Mirage games, and that was against Akuma.
Oh, I heard those guys were really up and coming. They were big.
They're very good domestically.
Very good domestically.
Very good domestically. Okay, so as foretold, the prophecy comes true. 14 to 10, backs against the wall. Immediate AWP purchase for Poison here, and he's not going to have any utility to work with.
And I want all of our viewers to just put yourselves, you play Counter-Strike as well, put yourselves into the shoes of all of Complexity right now. You've just had to stomach, after a long, arduous first half and a bit of a second, you've stomached 2 just freebies, giving it away to your opponent, stacking sights and accepting your defeat. If you're the first to die now, like your first opportunity back to defend your honor, it's going to feel very costly. That's a very deep one out of Blame. Sanji ahead of the B-Apps util. He's going to be actively fighting for this, and he swallows the nade now thrown out by NATO. So just consider survival is a priority for Poison, and he's managed to connect at least onto the second shot he releases. Kicker is into the site, though. S14 has neutralized that threat all the way from downrange. From short to A, smokes were up. Bombs heading towards the A site, and it is a bit of a passive hold. JKS and Poison with it all to do.
They have to smoke CT here. They can't allow Poison just to post up with the AWP. They need to at least smoke CT or deal with jungle so that they can plant. James dealing with jungle with the AWP. So the bigger issue is the fact that James has the bomb. He will have to swing out here.
Poison, he's positioned his... Oh, he doesn't even pull the trigger.
Oh, no! Yakinda! Yakinda!
What was that? He's actually gone down to Poison.
Oh my lordy!
I've never.
Yakinda's normally sharp as a bloody tack.
Yeah, but it may not guarantee Cole's 11th here. James, alive and kicking he does. He knocks Poison down and out. Rotating in, there is a kit on JKS, a smoke on JKS. They should have this one, but here comes Sanji. The flash won't catch him. Juzzy Bear's looking the wrong way, and now only one. S14 losing his teammates in the process. James advancing a little too much, and time-sensitive mission here. He's going for the full defuse, a 10-seconder. Sanji laughs it off, and it all just falls apart for Complexity.
Thank God for Yakinda's sake. Holy moly, red beans and ravioli, as our friend Tristan Saranthus would say. That was an absolute mare of a spray. Thank God they converted that.
He's just lost
painted
track of
lines around him.
He's jumping.
How does he hit
right.
it? It's so great. Watch this. Blind. No.
Imagine if that was it, you know, the comeback comes in.
The comeback.
Oh, Flame. Actually, a bit of a nuisance for VP there. That's the bomb, so Kickit really cannot go down. He knows he can't go down. He doesn't surrender. He actually actively fights for mid and maintains it, which is good. Coleman advantage, certainly not in the weapon department, though. Leave me alone, Yakinda, back to his precision ways.
I'd love to see his reaction after that spray. Holy.
I think he's about to prove to all of us it was just a fluke. The one-man A-take, a la Yakinda. The whole team goes B, Yakinda go kill on A. It's a VP classic, and it's pulled 3 CTs over here. He walks on past Blame. Does he consider it? NATO got so much to do in the meantime. 3 members on his site, and he has delivered a crucial frag. Kick it on the rotate, does punish it, and yeah, okay. They're not on the right site now. Yakinda's right in between the two of them. Blame clearing. He does get the necessary frag, and there's an AK to retrieve, but a kitless retake for the map. And Kickit's pushed up. James onto the first, and all onto Blame. He's not ready for this kick at swing, and he's being very passive with it. Starts to edge forward. James trying to bait, and that's the end of that. 16 for VP. They lock it down. And that was Complexity's pick, no less as well. Well recovered. And a solid first half converted in the second for the Virtus Pro boys. G2 fans rejoice. VP are 1-0 up.